Disappointed in the effort on the backboards, and that's the difference in the game. You got out-rebounded by 21. After losing a game at Illinois State, that we really had a great opportunity to go steal a road game in one of our guarantee games, and we just didn't get the job done on the backboards there from the first quarter on. We've hammered that in practice. That's basically what we went into. The first thing on the board and for keys to victory today was just like it was at Illinois State, is rebounding. Central Arkansas did a great job. They fought. I really thought our field goal percentage, our first shot defense was pretty good. We had a couple of defensive breakdowns, which is going to happen, especially at this time of the year. We're continuing to improve defensively, doing a nice job creating steals and easy baskets for our team off the defensive end. But it doesn't mean a whole lot when you play defense. Central Arkansas wants to slow the game down. The game was played at their pace most of the time. When it got to our pace, we went on runs. It was an interesting game, but, we had a lot of times where we got to stop, force the contested shot, and then we don't come up with the ball. And, 17 offensive rebounds. So really tough. I think our first shot field goal percentage was around 22% after looking at the numbers, and that's fantastic against a very good offensive team. But and forced 18 turnovers, and they're a team that really doesn't turn it over a whole lot. But it doesn't mean anything if you don't get rebounds. I thought 46 seconds left, it's a 4-point game, and we end up with a foul on an 83% free throw shooter, and first one hit the front of the rim. I thought she might miss that one, but we come down, call a timeout, we advance it to save seconds, we execute half court set, and if we make that play right there, I think it's a different game down the stretch at the end. We missed that. I think we turned it over on that possession. We had somebody wide open. They had a defensive miscommunication, and we had somebody wide open, and we missed her. And then after that, it was it was just like, well, now we got a foul. And, that ends up being the margin. But we were right there, and you get out-rebounded by 21, and with under a minute, it's a two-possession game, and you've got the ball. So if we clean up our rebounding, we've got a chance to be a pretty decent team.
Coach, your team is gritty. Is there any particular way that you feel like you'll be able to translate that aggressive defense into possibly some aggressive rebounding moving forward?
Well, that's the goal. That's what we're working on. To be quite honest with you, we have a couple of players that aren't playing much right now that could really help that out if they start doing it. It's just a mindset thing, and it's a mindset thing with our whole team. You look at the stats. There are a lot of people that play double-digit minutes. We basically played 10 people double-digit minutes. Lexi Cassell played like 9 minutes and 40 seconds, so that's basically 10 minutes. And you look at the rebound totals: 1 rebound, 2 rebounds, and that's in 38 minutes. 3 rebounds in 39 minutes. Kyra Gulledge had 8 rebounds. They did a good job. She was in foul trouble, played 29 minutes. 10 minutes, 1 rebound. 10 minutes, 1 rebound. 24 minutes, 2 rebounds. 19 minutes, 2 rebounds. That has to get better. It's that simple. It has to be a total team effort. And, it's one of those things where we can do all the drills we want and have penalties for not rebounding and all those things. But when it comes to game time, are you going to go hit the person, block them out, or are you going to go get the ball? And they beat us to loose balls on rebounds, and they dominated us on the glass. Get out rebounded 21, you're not going to win a lot. Considering how we shot the ball, and they do a great job defensively. It's surprising we were in the game with under a minute to go with a chance. And that says a lot about what we were able to create on the defensive end to be able to get easy points. And the determination our players have. I think our players are a determined group, and we've got several that have some grit to them. And, I think it's something where as we improve in that area, we could, this is 2 games we've lost that very easily we could have won if we rebounded all.
Through the 4 games, other than the rebounding, what have you learned about your team?
Well, we have a little more toughness than we've had in the past. We have the ability to really be a good defensive team from an aggressive standpoint. we try to make the game, try to take away things that the other team wants to do and try to make the game a little helter-skelter on the defensive end. And offensively, we can score points. We have to be a little more under control at times, and that's something that, we're working on. We're not executing in the half court when people get their defense back and get it set up the way we should consistently. We've been inconsistent. As long as we can get out and get in transition, we're pretty good. That's kind of how our team's built. But in the half court, we've really got to be able to execute. And if we're running a set and we don't get what we're looking for out of the set, our next thing we have to do as far as our growth as a team is we've got to be able to flow right into our base offense out of it instead of stopping. Everybody kind of stops. So I think we're in a bit of a hurry on offense right now. Instead of playing fast, we're kind of playing in a hurry sometimes. And there were 2 or 3 times tonight we're on a run and a player makes a play, and it's different players. It's not the same player over and over again, but different players make plays that, maybe we haven't seen them make in practice, and they're just in a hurry to do something. And they've got to understand you don't have to always make a play. Sometimes it's better if it's not there, don't force the action, just reverse the ball and let's play.
Moving forward, who do you think will help you out rebounding outside of Gully? She played pretty well, especially in the second half.
Well, KJ and Lely have been averaging over 6 a game, and they have 2 and 3 tonight, and they played 38, 39 minutes. Would really like to get them a little more rest during the game, and maybe that's part of it. But we're still working on getting people ready to play in games like this and in games like we had at Illinois State. But all of our guards have to rebound. And it's hard because we're out in the passing lanes and we're switching a lot of stuff. We're trapping some things. It's hard to be doing all that and go back and rebound, but it has to be done. The people at UConn are doing it, and Baylor, they're doing it. So our players need to do it. It's a responsibility that the whole team has to take upon themselves. But, there were a lot of rebounds tonight, and I'll know more when I watch the film, but I really believe I'm going to watch the film, and I'm going to see a lot of rebounds that we were in position and we could have gotten. There were a few rebounds that hit the ground that I know we could have gotten to. And those things can't happen. Loose balls, I don't fault our effort. I thought Bianca made a great play late in the game, and I thought it was a huge turning point. A huge call in the game. And the referee made the best call he thought he could make, but I felt like Bianca dove on a loose ball, and the girl from Central Arkansas playing hard too dove on the loose ball, and they called a loose ball foul on 2 players diving on a loose ball, and it happens. I think those type plays, you play on and you see what happens. I thought it's 2 kids hustling after a loose ball and there's a foul called. I feel like if we had come up with that one, maybe it's a different story because that's something that our team could have grown off of. Mm-hmm. Hey, we were the first one to the floor. We got a loose ball. Now we're playing in transition, and that would have been a big swing right there to get that basket. But it is what it is. So I think the effort's there. We had 5 steals in the first half, and that total should have been at least 10. If you remember, we had 5 possessions where the ball hit us in the hands. We're in the right position defensively, where maybe 2 games ago we're a half step off. The first game we were a full step off. This game we're in good position. We have the ball in our hands and it goes through our hands, or we fumble it. We try to dribble up a loose ball instead of picking it up and making sure we get the ball. So we could have 10 steals, and 3 of them would have led directly to transition layups in the first half. So, those are things we can take a positive out of and learn, hey, we just got to be more alert off the ball and ready to come up with it,